All right, guys. So this week we watched our one of our most anticipated movies of this year, Blue Beetle, directed by Angel Manuel Soto, starring our boy Zola Maridueña, George Lopez, and Susan Sarandon. In case you didn't know, because marketing was not good for this because there's strikes going on. Here's a synopsis. Jaime Reyes suddenly finds himself in possession of an ancient relic of alien biotechnology called the Scarab. When the Scarab chooses Jaime to be its symbiotic host, he's bestowed with an incredible suit of armor that's capable of extraordinary and unpredictable powers, forever changing his destiny as he becomes the superhero Blue Beetle. This is
Hell yeah.
non-spoiler. Where do we want to begin, boys?
If y'all listened last week, me and Noah did a short little video where we kind of predicted what the movie was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we got the predictions pretty accurate.
I'd say it was fairly accurate. It was a little not that I doubted it, but it was a little it did a little better than I thought it would.
So yeah, I knew it would do good. Okay, I want to say this movie, I understand it was from the comics, so there's not a whole lot that they can do with the story, like they have to get it from somewhere. But we just seen a lot of this lately, a lot of the same format, same story, So it was good and it was executed well, but it was a
That's
it was a little like, okay, I've seen this a million times already.
that's probably my biggest flaw of this movie is that it was very generic.
It was
And
formulaic, unfortunately.
It was, if I could put this in a few words, it was a cross between Ant-Man and Shazam and Black Adam.
Shazam, Black Adam is Shazam's shittier cousin.
No, I'm saying a mix between Black Adam. Or
You're saying it was close.
Yeah, Shazam and Ant-Man.
Shazam was the closer movie to what it was.
Yeah.
there's a lot of elements to it though. There's a couple elements that are a little different that we'll talk about. But at the end of the day, it is very generic and it feels like we've seen this before. And
Well,
I
'cause
don't
we
even
have,
think like the main villain was that memorable.
right. I
Honestly,
just
the
feel
main
like,
villain, the main villain, she didn't do anything really.
No,
Yeah.
she didn't.
I just
She just
think,
got
especially
nuked
with
at
the
the end.
villain, every superhero movie lately has been the same, It's the same, like,
Yeah,
the villain has the same powers as the hero, and then they fight. And that's about it.
And
yeah.
then CGI monstrosity at the end.
I
I don't know.
downgraded.
I thought the CGI was incredible in this movie.
Except for the end, when it needed to be good, because they decided to just have a big hulking monster at the end because, they can't ever just make a grounded movie that's about family because that's what it was selling itself to be at the beginning. And then at the end, they're like, yeah, we'll just jack this guy up to like 100 and let him duke it out in the corner.
It still was about family though. I don't think it took
was,
away the
but I'm
core
saying
element of
that
it.
the ending was unnecessary. Like I feel like having a smaller, more grounded ending would have done the movie a lot more justice than having a big CGI fight at the end.
Yeah, there was a certain character that I think could have taken care of the villain better than Blue Beetle. Like he didn't have to have that whole power fight at the end. Like they could have just the family could have just I can't say much without spoilers, but they should have stuck with just the whole. No, see, I know what you're saying. I'm just gonna say I know what you're saying.
Like
I don't know how
they
to say it
didn't
without
need to
spoilers.
have a big old fight scene at the end. It would have been better just to have it be just like a family moment at the end versus just like a huge
It kind of was a
island
family
ripping.
moment, though. Like, there's a big fight scene, and then that wasn't the very end, the fight scene. Because afterwards, you got a little bit of family moment, and then after that, you get, like, the ending.
Yeah, well, I'm saying
You know
you
what I
didn't
mean?
need the big fight scene in there. I feel like it took away just to. Like, if you would have taken that away, it would have felt like a better movie because it would have had more heart into it.
But then, I don't think so, because the whole story builds up to that fight.
It didn't need to, though. They could have had the fight earlier in the movie.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I didn't mind it. I actually kind of liked it.
And you say I'm the one who
The
likes booms and explosions, bitch.
I don't know if this makes sense, but the ending, like at least the ending, the last location ending, it kind of felt like a video game the way it was structured.
The whole city felt like a video game the way it was structured, and I
Yeah.
get because it was like a completely made up fictional city that they had to render and stuff, but it just looked like a video game to start off with.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
I
funny.
agree with that.
It was like Free Guy.
It did. It really looked like that. It really tripped me out.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a kind of funny parallel.
What?
So right after this movie, because I watched this at the drive-ins and at the movies. So the first time I saw it at the drive-ins, right after this, I watched Ninja Turtles for a second time because I took my brothers with me.
Hmm.
They both got milked in some way, dog.
Oh no,
They both got what?
they got milked.
What are you saying, bro?
And then it really got me thinking. And I was like, huh, you know what? Milking does sure happen in like 80% of superhero movies.
They just
What
don't
do you
talk about it,
mean?
man.
Yeah, and like the Ninja Turtles were just making fun of the fact that that happened. So it was funny to watch a movie where it happens and takes it really
Wait,
serious.
what is milking?
And then to have
They drain the power,
What?
bro.
What are you talking about?
Nothing, man. Don't worry about it.
No, I need to
Anyways.
know.
anyways,
Explain,
to have
explain,
one
explain.
movie have it happen
We'll explain
and,
later.
and take it super seriously.
No, just explain
and
it
then
right
cut
now,
to
because
the
one of our
Ninja
listeners don't
Turtles
know.
where it's happening and they're just making jokes about it the whole time. They're just like, huh, this is kind of funny. It does happen. It was just like really meta.
Wait, what?
Made me appreciate the
explain-
joke more. I will say that this movie did have some of the best CGI I've seen in a superhero movie in a long time. Like
And it
nothing was
wasn't-
like really super janky.
Yeah.
Like aside from the city rendering looking just kind of weird, it was like once we got into the movie, it was really really good.
Okay, wait. Before we go into
it's-
pros, go ahead. No.
I was just gonna say it's funny you say that because the director literally came out and was like, "Yeah, I made sure like that VFX artists had like reasonable like
Working
expectations
conditions.
and yeah and deadlines and stuff." And I was like, "Makes sense because it looks not bad."
W
For
director.
especially for it's really not a big budget because it was gonna go direct to streaming. So
Yeah, and you know what really
It
helped
was?
it? Having a practical suit. And I will say that till the day that I die, that in order for a superhero movie to be good, you have to have a version of a practical suit for your hero to be in.
it's also more fun for the actor to get in
That's
character.
why Spider-Man looks like shit so much.
What's Spider-Man?
Hey, what are you talking about?
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
He has
That's
a
why his
practical
suits
suit.
always look like shit.
It's a practical suit though.
It's 90% fake. Like the Iron Spider suit, all mocap.
No,
like
that
there's
one,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then that red and blue suit at the end, it was nice, but it also was completely CGI.
But I guess other than that stuff, it's like the only thing that really got me, and I hate when movies do this. I know it's like it could be for kids, but like
I know
when
it
they
is.
made a fart joke, bro, I was like, oh, come on, man. I
Oh,
was like, dude, come on.
It happens.
You know what? One of my, I wouldn't say it's a huge con because it didn't happen very many times. And before I watched this movie, I think someone that reviewed it, there were parts of the movie that were CW-esque. Like, I could see, because someone had said this movie was just a big budget CW movie.
In what
And
way
not
though?
always, but there were times. There were times I could see it. And the biggest example that I can think of is when the first time after he leaves, becomes Blue Beetle and comes back, and they're like, oh, we have to break into this place or whatever. And then the uncle, George Lopez, he's like, oh, well, I've got a thing I've been working on. Like, come on. Like, okay.
George Lopez's character in a whole was just a big. I don't know. He is just. I have no explanation for that. He's just a cornball.
Swinging in the pros with that. George Lopez really showed his dominance in being a classic like vet comedian on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
His
How so?
comedic timing was perfect, dude. It was so
It
good.
triggers me that he's such a dickhead in real life, though.
I think the biggest thing I will say right now, and this isn't like leaving you out or anything, Anthony. I don't mean it in this way, but I'm kind of sad that it's gonna flop at the box office because this movie like did it for me perfect. Representation like truly matters, and it like this movie like actually made me happy. This may not be like the best movie we're gonna see all year, but it's probably one of my favorites. Like it hits close to home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so representation really matters. Like just when I was thinking about it, I was just like, it makes me happy that there's a Latino child that saw this movie and was like, "This is my favorite superhero."
I like how they included.
Like genuinely,
I guess it's kind of a little spoiler. They got the goat of Mexican heroes in this too.
they really did.
Sure.
That was so cool.
They got a cameo from the absolute god tier legend.
Oh,
Stay for
who-
the after credits.
I think what sucks is that
wait,
we don't have very
Wait.
many Hispanic superheroes to pick from to begin with.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that this finally made it onto the big screen, because it was a worry there for a little bit if this would even make it after what happened to Batgirl.
hey, listeners.
It is nice to be seen on screen.
If you don't want a spoiler, skip to like 60 seconds ahead.
No, we don't got to talk about it, bro. Then they know
Okay.
what we're talking about.
I don't. That's why I said that. I
Okay,
need you
well,
to
The
tell
thing
me.
is,
we'll tell you later.
Anthony, even if we say it, you won't know who it is.
Okay, fair enough.
That is the thing.
But this movie did good, and it has a lot of heart, and obviously it really pushed the family dynamic as they should have, and it really pushed how it would be in a Hispanic household if you had superpowers. And I thought it was funny because it's like, yeah, no, if you had superpowers, if I had superpowers, if Edward
That
superpowers,
is exactly how it would go.
our family's gonna know. Like, it's not a
Yeah.
secret. It's not gonna be a
we
secret.
cannot get away from it. Yeah, and just given the timing of stuff that happened in my personal life, a few of the themes of the movie really hit a little bit closer to home. So it was just like perfect timing for the movie to come out for me. So I don't know. I try not to let that affect my rating, but it's kind of hard when it hits.
I should have said
That's
that
true.
when I started. I feel like me and Edward might be a little more biased,
I don't think so.
just a little, but we'll try to be a little subjective. But yeah,
don't
I
think-
think the cast had a lot of fun.
Am I more biased if we're watching a white superhero movie?
No, but there's like not many of these movies for us.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
This is the only one for us. What do you mean, not many?
Yeah, exactly. But I think the cast had a lot of fun with the roles. I think they all nailed the tone. I think Zolo is perfect casting. I would say
Goated
he's
with
great for the
sauce.
role. I think I was saying earlier there's some elements that were kind of original with the storyline. I think one of them is more like the Scarab being a symbiote type object.
I
like
I mean,
that.
you could say Venom, but it's not like an evil symbiote type thing.
Yeah, it's just there to help.
Yeah, it's for protection. And I also feel like oh no, it's kind of a spoiler.
I feel like
There's just a lot of things that bring it together.
the biggest thing that makes it stand out is the fact that his whole family knows and they're in on it. Like that's something that doesn't happen with superheroes like almost ever.
Yeah, even though they know they might die or whatever, they're like, no, we're in this together.
Yeah,
which
and
is
it's
perfect.
like opposite of like the Shazam stuff, because they all have powers together. Like,
Yeah.
it's just one dude and then a bunch of regular dudes. And
Yeah.
I think that just makes it even better, and it stays true really to our culture too, because it is how it is. Most
No, it is.
superheroes, all their families are dead. Apparently, never had cousins or uncles or aunts. They're just all gone. They're just on their own. But it's refreshing to have someone with like actual family and to have those like really grounded stakes.
No, Abuela was pretty crazy.
Dude, that bitch was bonkers.
She was cool.
There's two people with superpowers.
It was awesome. It was awesome. But I don't know. Y'all got anything else? It was just a very, very wholesome movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I agree.
I
But-
concur. It was.
I don't have anything else to say.
I just wish it didn't come out at the time that it did, so it could get the box office that it deserves. But for what it's worth, it is a really great movie, and personally, I would 100% you recommend.
I recommend it as well. Anthony,
I recommend it.
I just think I don't know. I just think it sucks that how it's getting dogged on, even though people haven't seen it. Number one and number two, it's like this is important for us.
I didn't know it was getting dogged on. I haven't seen any negative. I haven't seen any positive. Like, no one's talking about it.
I've seen a lot of mid, and then when the people call it mid, all the comments are like, "Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna see it, or I knew it'd be trash." Like classic DC
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna watch, doesn't deserve my money, stuff like that.
Rip.
And I'm just like, well,
I think if people, I don't think it'll do very good at all. Even after all the reviews come out and it's good and everything, but
It's crazy
I think
that
people would enjoy it.
the audience score is like a 95 and then the critic score is like a 30.
huh?
Or like a 50, sorry. Like a 53%.
It's
and
like
then
a
the audience score is
77.
like a 90. It is a 50 when I checked, but
There's no way.
It's a 78 in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
no, I guess it went up a little bit.
No, it was at like 85 when it first came out.
Maybe I just saw a fake picture.
Or maybe you're
Which is
looking at something
possible.
else. I don't know.
Maybe you're just stupid.
Damn.
Right.
All right. What would we rate it, boys?
Give it a
8.5.
big. Oh, I was about to say a big sloppy 8.5, but it's not so sloppy if you also give it an 8.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
Nuts.
And like I said, not the best movie in the world this year, but it's probably top 3, one of my favorites. As of right now.
5 sharks.
Sure, man.
5 out of 5 sharks would recommend.
But yeah, that's all we got for y'all this week. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check all the links below for all our socials. If you're on a podcast platform, leave a review. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment. Hate it, love it, watch the film, whatever you want. Suggestions. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace. Buy our merch.